I just got a download, and the download is, when they look at you, you bring them joy. You bring them joy. Yes. You do. I just heard if it wasn't for you, I would have never seen this coming. I don't know what this is. What is this? If it wasn't for you, I would have never seen this coming. What is this? If it wasn't for you, I would have never seen this coming. I thought, oop, that's too many. I don't want that many. The star is at the top though, so something about their healing. If it wasn't for you, I would have never seen this coming. Never seen it. Like, no, I would have never seen it. There's something that this person found within you, and it illuminated something that they were going through. Because I have the Four of Cups, the King of Swords, the Sun, the Hangman, and the King of Wands. I heard this person just felt like they was too fly for this to even happen to them. What? They thought they was too fly for this to happen to them. This person is very confident, and they thought so confident of themselves, which is not a bad thing, that it caused them to miss certain things that happened with people around them. It's that invincible aspect of themselves that could have caused them to think this way. So they felt good about someone who was bad for them. Because in their mind, they're like, nobody would do that to me. They didn't think whoever did something to them could do what they did. But someone had them in the dark, in a very dark place. And I feel like this person knew what was happening, but they just chose to, how can I say, it's like, I just heard I don't have time for anything else. I don't have time for anything else. It just feels like this person settled. It feels like they settled for something that they really didn't want. They didn't want what they settled for. And they knew that illusions were being casted over them. What do I call this? It's like I want to say they weren't paying attention, but they were. They're too sharp not to. As a King of Swords, the King of Swords knows. They're not dumb. I just heard weak in love. Some people become weak in love. You help them to recognize the truth of the matter. And I heard public humiliation. This person feels like whoever they were with in the past publicly humiliated them in some way. Now, I don't know what that means exactly for them. It could have a lot to do with how much this person did for this person, like how much your person did for this person. And this feels like a new person. This doesn't feel like an ex or anything. This feels like a new person that's coming into your life, recognizing how you bring them joy, and who they were with in the past brought them sorrow and illusions. It was this person had the wool pulled over their eyes so much, but I feel as though they were so in tune with their own schedule, their own work life, their own career, whatever, if they're in school, whatever it is that they do, they were so headstrong into making sure that they do right in that area that they couldn't spread themselves thin enough to be able to pay so much attention to this relationship. So it's something like, okay, it's like this person gave in different ways. If they couldn't be there with the person, they gave in other ways, like, I don't know, gifts, money, anything other than them, because they were so busy. That's what I'm picking up from this. The only difference is between you and the other person, well, I don't want to say the only difference, but one of the differences is that you actually, it's about the personality difference. Your personality is absolutely completely opposite of whoever they were with, and they know that with you they will find happiness, like long-term happiness, not just short-term. Because the first thing the first download that I received is, when I look at you, you bring me joy. You know, when you see someone and your face lights up, like you get happy because you're seeing someone that you actually desire to see. You're about to be around someone who you miss, or you want to be around them. It's like this very lighthearted energy where you lift their spirit. I just heard Spirit Day. You know, in some high schools they have what is it called? Is it called Spirit Day? Where they really represent the like the mission statement of the school and the mascot, and everyone dresses up in the school colors. It's like, for them, you are Spirit Day. But you are a life full of spirit. I can't just say one day, because they're looking at you long term. So kids usually have fun, like teenagers when they're in like middle school or high school, and they have Spirit Day. They put face paint on. The football team probably, I don't know, plays a game with a basketball team, whatever they got going on at that school. But it's like a celebration. So this person feels like, for me to think about that, and I haven't thought about that in a very long time, but I remember my school used to have that Spirit Day, where it was just in the school spirit. But this is like spiritual from a God mind perspective, to where this person sees that you have spirit in you, so you are able to share that spirit with them. So if this person isn't as in tune as you into spirituality and into getting closer to themselves and understanding their spirit and their soul, and how the activation of the spirit and the soul is wholeness, the whole nature of a person, and what brings true joy. That this is why you bring them joy, because you've opened them up to an aspect of themselves that was locked, okay? And this is one of the biggest, most challenging locks that needs to be unlocked throughout life. This concept that I'm speaking about right now, when it comes to activating the soul and spirit, this should be taught in schools to children, because this will create an energy of normalizing the activation of the soul and spirit, and really activating one's natural gifts, spiritual gifts. So to this person, the reason why you bring them joy is because you were able to light up their life in a way that nobody else in this whole wide world was able to. Someone else possibly could have, I'm sure. However, it wasn't meant for that to happen. It was meant for you to do it. It was meant for you to do it specifically. Okay? Literally, you are the one that was supposed to fire up this person's soul to activate it, because it was inactive, and this person kept feeling like something was missing, and they could not call it. They didn't know what it was. They just knew that something was missing, and they were aggravated about it, but they kept moving, because they're like, what else am I supposed to do? With the chariot, I'm going to keep going, even though I have blinders on and there's all these swords in front of me, and I'm thinking about all these other things There's so many thoughts. There's 8 swords around this woman, and she's in bondage. So this person was so busy that they couldn't even find any time to think about anything else, let alone how their soul and spirit activation can help them with everything that they're having problems with. They didn't even know until you came along and you helped them to see a beautiful aspect of themselves that has awakened them. And so now they have this consistency within their feeling of relief. You help them to be, not only did you give them joy, you relieved eternal pain that they've been suffering from for a very long time. That is beautiful. I didn't think that this message was going to take this turn as it did, but it did, and I'm glad it did, because it's very beautiful. This is what we're here to do for each other. We're here to wake each other up. We're here to wake each other up. Sometimes it's like gentle awakenings. Well, I guess an awakening isn't really gentle, but I just know some individuals have more challenging awakenings than others. I guess the ones that are more gentle are the ones where you don't feel like you've completely lost your mind for a little while. Those are the ones where you don't feel like you completely lost your mind, and instead it's just this illumination, like it's almost like another part of your brain activates that you didn't know you could use. Mm-hmm. That's a gentle awakening, I feel, because it might make you cry, but it's not going to make you feel like you lost your mind. It's going to make you feel like you found another part of your mind that you weren't using. So that's a difference between a gentle awakening and a harsh awakening. Harsh awakenings make you feel paranoid, like you've been smoking pounds of weed from different countries for days and you never stopped. I remember a friend of mine said she took a E-pill one time, a long time ago, and she was high for days, and I was like, damn, where'd you get that pill from? She said, she told me like she got it from somebody, but she ain't never take that again though. She ain't never do it again. You know? Because high for 3 days is crazy. I want to be sober. You're so alert when you're sober. Like, you know what's going on around you. You know, it's nice to know what's happening and to be focused. It actually feels good to be alert. You were able to help this person heal aspects of themselves that they didn't know were actually in need of healing. And honestly, you changed this person's life for the better. It's very beautiful. It really is beautiful. Because this person has like the most biggest beautiful heart ever. And they were giving their heart to someone who does not bring them joy. And they were settling and tricking themselves into believing that they were happy, but they were not. They were not happy. See? Wow. The 5 of Cups came out. And that's to clarify the 7 of Cups. So they were putting on a front like they were okay, but they weren't okay. They were suffering in silence. And they felt like they were bound to this past person for some reason. Why? In their mind, they kept on telling themselves that was the person that they were going to marry. So they were dealing with all of these horrible realities with this person because they kept telling themselves, no, I'm in love. I think it was just kind of like this thing where they didn't want to look anymore. They didn't want to have to go through getting to know someone again. It feels like they just got comfortable, but they were not happy. They also set aside everything that this person does that they didn't like in order for them to pay more attention to what they did like. And they would focus on what they did like about the person to increase the love that they have for the person, when in all actuality, if they just wiped all that away and just really were honest with themselves, they would have said, I'm not happy with this. And I'm sure they did, but they just tried to keep going because it feels like they're just someone who is so focused on money, focused on building, that they didn't have time. They actually really didn't have time. They didn't have time for like deep love, the love that they want to have. And I feel like now, oh, I didn't expect that. First it was just the Queen of Cups and then the King of Pentacles. And then I cracked the deck and it's the King of Cups popped out. This person wants their queen and they want to be deeply in love in such a way where they can have time. They want to make sure that they have time for the one that they love. And because they don't want to settle. They almost settled for someone that they're not happy with based on their circumstances. And they were forcing themselves to just stick it out. Because they'd rather well, at the time, they'd rather just be with who they were with because it was out of like convenience and not having to go through the stages of getting to know someone again. Because that could be a challenge and people are off it nowadays. They don't even be thinking on the right accord. And this person was kind of like, this is probably the best thing that I can get until they found you. And then they said, well, that was a lie I told myself. And that's a lie I'm no longer going to listen to. What the hell was I thinking? I'm leaving. I just heard, bitch, bye. I don't have no time. Okay, so the person realized that they don't have time for what they were making time for. They were making time for someone that acts like they don't have time for them. That's interesting because that's not what I was going to say. But then that happens to me sometimes when Spirit speaks. In mid-sentence, they will remove what I said and place something else there and then I just say it. Because that's not what I was going to say. I don't even remember what I was going to say. That's how, who's doing that? How y'all do that? But anyway, the way Spirit communicates is so interesting. Sometimes it's like telepathic thought, and sometimes it's just, I pick up the signal and I just know what to say. I don't know how else to explain it. But this person was really about to settle for someone that they weren't really happy with until they found you. So just seeing you and seeing how much joy you bring them, that alone lit up their whole world. Your energy is so potent that you were able to, you gave them like this sense of hope that, oh, there is someone out there for me. It's like this person was losing hope because there's so many bad apples that just keep dropping off the tree and rolling around, contaminating people with their bad energy. So this person was not about to pick up a rotten apple with a worm in it. They just say, you know what, this one ain't like completely, this one isn't, okay, so the one that they were with before, they're like, this one is not like exactly what I want. But I guess this person will do. Because I don't see anything else that'll work for me right now under these circumstances. So let me just focus on what I like and don't focus so much on what I do not like. But the truth is with this person, they don't connect with that person. They didn't connect with them. But they were really willing. They almost stayed. And they would have been bound to unhappiness if they had have actually went through with marrying this person. Because that's what they're thinking about. This person actually wants marriage. They want to be with someone long term. And they almost did that. Because they believe in love, first of all. Okay, that's another thing. So they felt like if they get married, it's going to like do a thing. They felt like it was going to do a thing. It was going to look good. It was going to feel good. But that wasn't really the truth. That's not really how they felt. They really felt like it's like this obligation. I don't know what the obligation is about. But they felt obligated to this person in some way. Maybe they made a promise that they wanted to keep. They are fascinated by the love they feel for you. So this person is overjoyed by you, and they're also fascinated by the love that they feel for you. It says they wear that passion well, like luxury. So this person they look good. They dress well, whoever this is. They carry themselves well. They take care of themselves. The sensuality in you makes me fall deeply in love with you. They appreciate how sensual you are, and they can see your sensuality in everything that you do. In all that they do, they see the sexy in you. That's so cute. I wasn't going to say that, but it came out. I think I want to write that down. In all that you do, they see the sexy in you. There. All right. So let's see what else. I heard this was like a major eye opener for this person. And they feel better now. I feel better now, feel better now. Oh, it's a music note. Is this called the C note? I think so, but I'm not sure, but I think it's called the C note. I always wanted to learn how to play piano, and I never did. But never say never, maybe? I don't know. I used to have a piano class, but I didn't learn nothing in there because I was talking too much. Everybody was talking, and the teacher, she was playing the piano for us. Barely teaching us how to play. But when she got into it, she was into it. You know how when somebody plays the piano and their head is just like... That's what she was doing. She was in there, okay? She could play too. Wow, it's amazing. But I just had a memory because, you know, when they read music, you really see the notes on there. And I remember being right next to her and looking at the music notes on the booklet where she reads the music, or where she read the music, past tense. What grade was I in? What was that? I was in like 9th or 10th grade or something. Yep, I remember that. So this person likes music, or they are a musician, some type of a music artist. They may be a pianist, guitarist, violinist. Maybe they play drums and cymbals, flute, trombone. Who plays a trombone? I don't know, I'm picking up instruments. So maybe your person plays an instrument, or maybe you do, or you just like to listen to, but there's music here. Together you'll make music, maybe. Maybe you sing and they play an instrument, or you both do a thing in the music industry. But together, between you and them, is a symphony. Yeah, so that is it for this message. You bring them joy because you brought them back to themselves. And that's a big deal. In this crazy world, to be brought back to yourself, that's a big deal. Because everything else says get away from yourself and detach yourself away from yourself so you could be confused as hell. So when somebody come through and bring you back to yourself, oh, that's beautiful. I think that's beautiful. That is the greatest gift one can give, to bring you back to you. This is the gift that I strive to give you all every day. Get you back to you. And you know why that's the greatest gift, in my opinion? It's because to get back to you and to know thyself eliminates all other problems. Because that is the root of the problem. And there we are. Everything you do, do it with love. If you would like to purchase a coaching call with me or a reading, go to my website, www.MNHONEYROSE.org. And my books are also on that site. They're also listed below the video as well, because I have a Fourth Wall website, and I realized that I could actually put my ebooks on there as well. And Fourth Wall is one of those stores that you can actually add to YouTube to be seen under the video. So I figured it made sense, so it will be easier for you all to access my ebooks, okay? So that is all for this message. This was a beautiful message. And congratulations to whoever. I just had a wind, like a breeze, but it was a summer breeze because it was kind of warm. It hit me in my face and it made me stumble over my words because I didn't expect that. But anyway, whoever this message is for, congratulations, because this is very beautiful, and you have someone that is genuinely loving you for helping them to be the best version of themselves, and that is true love. Alright? Alright. Everything you do, do it with love. I'll see you in the next message.